All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Now, our focus today is the regional economic integration, which takes center stage as the Southeast Development Commission sets its sights on boosting trade, infrastructure, and industrial growth in the region. And the Southeast Development Commission has reaffirmed its commitment to regional economic integration, making it a top priority for sustainable development. Officials say the Commission is rolling out strategic initiatives to enhance cross-border trade, improve transportation networks, and strengthen industries across the region. And the goal is to create a self-sustaining economy by fostering collaboration among states, improving infrastructure, and promoting investment in key sectors.
Experts believe that the Southeast region has untapped economic potential with improved trade corridors, upgraded roads, and better energy supply. Businesses can thrive, creating more jobs and boosting productivity. As the Southeast Development Commission pushes forward with its regional economic agenda, stakeholders are optimistic about the future. The question now is whether these plans will translate into tangible benefits for businesses and residents alike. And for further discussion and clarity on the Southeast Development Commission's priority, we have live in the studio the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Southeast Development Commission, Mark Okoye. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. Well, as the Managing Director of the Southeast Development Commission, what are your priorities? What are the priorities of the Commission in the region that has been devastated by, a lot of unrest and political turmoil?
Well, I think, first of all, I'd like to start by appreciation. It's been 54 years that the region has been begging, advocating, pleading from Nigerian government to do this. SCDC is very similar to the 3 R's post the war, where the federal government committed to reconcile, rehabilitate, and reconstruct. If that policy was going to be implemented, you will all know that there would have been perhaps an Eastern Development Commission. But since that time, there's been 6 military heads of states. None of them did this. There's been 4 democratically elected presidents. None of them did this. Even in the last government, we passed a law, second reading, third reading, no progress. But under 1 year, Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, got this passed with the support of the National Assembly. 1 week after that, he assented it into law. 5 months, or about 4 months and 3 days after that, he nominated its leadership. Everyone was pleased, people were jubilating, people are happy, the region was boisterous. But people who know government were saying, are you sure? 1 week before the budget is presented, you're going to have a tough time next year, which is this year, because there's no budget. Mr. President delayed the budget process by a day or two to ensure that we were captured. And when the budget was presented, there was a provision for us to start work. Of course, that was 341. By the time the budget was passed, it's 140 billion. But the people of the Southeast are extremely hands in air, thankful for him for what he's done for us. We see it as a platform for transformation, prosperity, and uniting the region again. So to the plans, and obviously I also want to say thank you to the leadership of the National Assembly, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, Honorable Ojus Okalo. They've all played a critical role. The senators, Victor, all of them have done. And then to the Ministry of Regional Development, Honorable Senator Abubakar Momo. But as to what we want to achieve, I think it's quite interesting. We were inaugurated when? About Tuesday last week was when we were inaugurated. No receptions were done by us. We just went straight to business. So after inauguration, we just grabbed small dinner, and by 8 a.m. the next morning, we were at work. We have a makeshift office that we are working out of throughout trying to get people. The first meeting was 6.5 hours. Management meeting with the EDs, first post-inauguration. But that was our 5th meeting, actually. We've been meeting, brainstorming, strategizing. In that meeting, what was approved? Our strategic roadmap. By the next day, we had our first board meeting, chaired by Chief Emeka Nwogo, former Minister of Labour. Very excellent gentleman who's supporting and guiding us. 5 hours, 45 minutes in board meetings. And we took our strategic roadmap, again approved. What do we want to achieve? For us, it's quite simple, because we're still going to do extensive consultation with the governors, who are critical stakeholders for us to implement this vision. Same thing with the private sector, the CSOs, the traditional rulers, and the religious leaders, and the wider cross-section of the stakeholders in the region. But for us, we must come to those sessions with a framework as to what we want to achieve. Our vision is very clear. We want to be the preferred investment destination in Africa by 2030. We say investments because when you think about investments, a lot of other sectors you touch on it. For you to be a preferred investment destination, human capital development must be high. The workforce must be strong and skilled. And the infrastructure must be in place. The regulations and the laws must also be in place. So that's why we felt that preferred investment destination coins every single thing that we are trying to achieve. But under that, there are strategic objectives. The first of which is we want to drive economic transformation in the region from 4 to 5 broad sectors: agriculture, industrialization, creative economy, technology, and some of the social sectors, right? And then the second point under our strategic objectives is to build, in our view, identify high-impact infrastructure projects, regional rail, pipelines, all of this, and take these projects systematically from concept stage all the way to getting them bankable, where the private sector can finance them. The third point on our strategic objective is to foster collaboration with the different governments in the region. Of course, working closely with the governors. I've worked with governors for the last 13 years. I know all the governors in the region. And my view is to see how can we work closely together to ensure that we guarantee prosperity in the region. And then the last is, when you look at the law, you and I know that revenue in Nigeria is very volatile. So we are in the Southeast are saying, we need some certainty, we need to be able to plan. So as part of what we are doing, we have an ambitious target to build a $1 billion portfolio in the next, by 2035, such that that portfolio can also start funding at least 60 to 70% of the agency's expenses, and then the remaining coming from the budget. And lastly, obviously, is our target. We have a $40 billion economy today in the Southeast with about 22 million people, resident population. We want our target in 10 years is to build a $200 billion economy, thereby contributing our own to Mr. President's $1 trillion economy.